The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now, your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrick Walker, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
It is a Say It With Your Chest Friday here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, and here from the Star in Frisco, it is time to preview the Cowboys and the New York Giants. Week 3 of the NFL season is here, and we are back with Patrick Walker, Isaiah Stanback, Rob Phillips. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Gentlemen, Isaiah, you ready to rock?
It's freaking time to go, boys.
Tis.
Yes. Extra day. You know, we get the extra day off. So we got to pull it back a little bit. But it's doggone Say It With Your Chest Friday.
Do we really have to pull it back a little bit?
No.
I did not agree.
Some people aren't ready.
Well, they're going to have to get ready.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Because you don't slow down for
you.
those that can't catch up. You force them to catch up.
Okay, it's like catching an Amtrak.
Catch up and get left behind.
Okay.
Catching an
Amtrak is leaving the station, baby.
I could just see Isaiah just full on pump mode, getting
Absolutely.
down that
$6 million man.
The old school Fast and Furious movies where they were always hopping on trains and stuff. Like, I would have been that guy.
They were jumping through buildings.
Yeah, exactly.
They were jumping through a bunch of stuff.
Grabbing helicopters out the air.
Yeah, it's fitting that Patrick would bring up the word ketchup in this first segment.
Oh,
he's got that red hat working.
Clean,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It actually is really nice. It's a Cowboys hat, but it's like pure red.
It is. It is a rare colorway, the pure, unadulterated red, which is my second favorite color, black being the first, go Dogs. But it's most certainly not, implicit of any ketchup because, as we all should well know, ketchup kind of sucks. So
what?
Yeah, ketchup.
Are we going to have that conversation right now?
We only got 45
We don't have
minutes.
Ketchup is awful, and let's move on to the next one. It's awful.
Wow.
I'm gonna schedule a date in the off season.
This
is a full 45-minute off season.
Even your headphones disagree with you.
No, that's just because the hair is
No,
luxurious.
your headphones
So-
disagree.
The hair is
When's
luxurious.
the bye week? When's the bye week?
So,
Let's schedule a bye-week conversation.
Ketchup
Yeah.
it needs to happen.
Let's have
it's an international conversation that needs to be had, and I am willing to be the champion for the lesser voices in the room who understand fully that ketchup is not that dude.
What are you? Never mind.
No, just pause it.
No, we'll wait till November.
A referendum.
I love you too,
on
baby.
ketchup.
We'll wait till November.
We're going to hit
Wait till
this.
November.
This is going to be the great catch-up debate of 2022.
Ooh, I like that. I see what you did there.
This is not
I learn so much about Patrick every single day.
every day, right?
Hey,
you learn all of
new
it.
every
There's
day.
layers to this onion, my friend.
A lot of layers.
Onions stink.
No, misconception. Onions don't
segue.
stink; they just make you cry.
Oh, man. All right, Rob, news and notes as we enter this Friday. We've got some interesting comments to catch up on.
You want to start
Let's
with
see what you did
that?
there.
I don't
Let's
wanna
see what
start.
you did there. The catch up on.
Picking up what putting down.
Feeling punny today.
Oh, yeah.
Feeling punny.
No, I don't want to start with it. I want to get everything else out of the way.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about what Jerry Jones said
So just
yesterday.
brass tacks. Like,
Correct.
what does the injury report say? Let's
Yeah.
just start with that, okay? 6 guys did not practice yesterday. Trayvon Diggs, excused for a personal matter. J-Ron Curse and Connor McGovern coming back from their injuries in week 1. Still rehabbing. Micah Parsons had an illness yesterday, negative for COVID, according to Jerry Jones. And Mike McCarthy said on the Fan just now that he's trying to get back into work today. We'll see. They're in pads today. It's like a normal Thursday practice. Dak Prescott did some stuff early before practice, some non-throwing stuff with a training ball and a no football, trying to do some footwork. He's trying to get back ASAP.
Rocky.
That's right. Dalton, he's rocking it up. Dalty Schultz did not practice, but as Mike McCarthy said, he's trying to go on an incline and push towards possibly playing on Monday night. And Michael Gallup's on the injury report, but as expected, he's a full participant on Thursday, today is Friday. We'll see what he does. Mike McCarthy just said he had about 16 to 18 plays yesterday, and they're trying to ramp that up. They're trying to get him ready for Monday Night Football.
There you go.
That would be huge. That's Michael Gallup's first full participation in practice since suffering the torn ACL. So if you're looking for that huge step forward towards his return, there it is. Now today, as Rob said, today will be the next big step forward in that the Cowboys and trainer Britt Brown, after yesterday's practice, they likely took him in, checked for swelling and things of that nature. And if he reacted well to yesterday's full workload and he's again a full participant in practice today, all signs are pointing towards Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Don't look too excited, Isaiah.
Media almost got him yesterday. It was, because he said something like, this is his first game coming back. And so Todd Archer was like, so he's playing?
He's coming back?
I hope so. I hope so. I am calm. I am calm.
I hope so.
We had the conversation yesterday. You can check it out on yesterday's episode, Talkin Cowboys. But Isaiah, you were just a little bit paused. You had a little bit of a hesitation to really throw him right back into the fire. Sounds like they're not doing that initially, which is good. You don't want to just overstay his workload or overload his workload, I guess, heading into this first matchup. But we do have some audio. This is from Jerry Jones, an impromptu meeting with the media yesterday. And it was impromptu from the media to have a whole slew of storylines kind of just thrown onto their plate. I mean, Rob was busy yesterday. He was up here late a little bit doing some work. You could check out on DallasCowboys.com the stories about this. But here's the audio from Jerry Jones. I'm not even going to give it any preface.
Nope.
I just want to let it speak for itself.
Would it be something if you had a dilemma as to which way you go? You do that if he gets 10 wins. Same thing that happened with Prescott. I think like that.
So you'd want that? You'd want that controversy?
Of course I would.
Okay.
Of course that means we'd won. If it comes in there and played as well as Prescott played, Rush played that well over these next games ahead, I'd walk New York to get there.
My favorite part of that is John Machota asking the good question about, so you would want that. He goes, of course I would. John goes, okay, all right.
Back off. All right.
I got you.
So the thought process here from Jerry Jones is he's hyping up the backup quarterback. He's saying, Cooper Rush, I need you to play. I want you to play what Dak Prescott's level is. The backside of that is Dak Prescott is your $40 million quarterback that's now in a quarterback controversy, seemingly, or at least Jerry Jones wants it to be a quarterback controversy. Patrick, what are your thoughts on what Jerry had to say yesterday?
It was eloquently timed by Ezekiel Elliott to be in, to conduct his outside of the locker room press conference on the heels of that. And I love how Zeke reacted because it was kind of thrown right in front of him because they were like, well, what about, and they were referencing the Steve Young comment about how Dak Prescott needs to, quote unquote, learn from Cooper Rush, a laughable take. But, and that's what Zeke was initially responding to. And he said, hey, the more outlandish things you say about the Cowboys, the more clicks and views you get. And then one of the reporters threw out there and said, hey, well, Jerry just said it similarly, and he was like, oh, well, there you go. He was like, it's all marketing. It's all marketing. Valid point. And I use that to segue to this. Zeke who? Do we all remember that line? During the negotiations with Ezekiel Elliott and, Tony Pollard, that conversation. And off the cuff, just being playful but marketing at the same time, he said Zeke who? And then immediately said, I could make those into some shirts. This is how Jerry Jones's mind works. Now, that said, I believe it's also true that there was a little bit of spin put to his words because here's my take, and everybody can interpret it how they like. Number one, yes, it was marketing because ever since he said it, every single Cowboys podcast, article that has spoken about the Cowboys is now talking about it. So mission achieved. But also, basically what he's saying is he wants his backup to play so well that it creates a good problem. That's what he's saying. He wants Cooper Rush to go out there and play such elite football that it creates a national conversation about should Cooper Rush remain in QB1 spot. The reality is no, it's not going to happen. Number one, Dak Prescott's not going to be out long enough for Cooper Rush to rally off 10 wins because Jerry Jones did also mention 10 consecutive wins. That's what Dak Prescott did, which made it difficult to put Tony Romo back in. Cooper Rush not going to have the time to do that. At best, we hope Cooper Rush wins the 3 or maybe 4 plus games, depending on when Dak Prescott is available to come back. But it's not going to be a QB controversy. Yeah. Will it be a conversation nationally? Yes, because every little thing is, and when there's not a little thing about the Cowboys you talk about, the national shows create a thing. So that was going to be created anyway.
Yeah, but it's a little different when your owner's the one that's saying
absolutely.
it, right? I mean, there's a motivation tactic with it, but there's also, there's controversy that comes with everything that's said with the Cowboys, and especially if Jerry Jones says it, it holds a little bit more weight.
I think No-C just pretty much touched on it in regards to Jerry being Jerry, trying to keep his names in the front of the papers and the headlines. And
it worked.
And he's done it for a very long time. He knows how to do that. And ultimately, again, repeating what No-C said, you want your backup to play so well that when your starter comes back, the starter now feels like his job is threatened regardless of what his check states. It's a good problem when your number 2 is playing as good as or better than what your QB1 was playing, because now he has to elevate his game. It's the reason why I've always sat here and said I think that there needs to be competition at every position. Right? I've gone on record saying that. And Dak needs somebody pushing him. Right? Every position needs somebody pushing them. I don't care what your check says. You need somebody behind you that threatens your job, because as a competitor, you don't play your best unless you feel like somebody's going to take your spot if you slip up.
That's science.
That's just facts.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. If I feel secure in my position, my approach is different. Not to say I'm not going to play well. Not to say I'm not going to be, one of the best in the world. But when there's somebody behind me, you hear it all the time. I talked to Nate and talked to Charles Haley and some of these old schools that were winning championships left and right. They said, my body was freaking hurting, but I'm not slipping up and missing a practice because I got so-and-so back here. I'm not giving him none of my reps.
Yeah.
Right? That's the mentality that you hear Jerry Jones speaking on, and that's what he wants for this organization.
Yeah, I mentioned it on Media Mash yesterday because it had just broken, and so I talked about it. But I think Pat hit on probably the key point is that it's all moot. Dak's going to be back within like a couple weeks, we think, maybe. He's already trying to get it back out there and do stuff. There's not going to be a window for Cooper Rush to take his job. And honestly, like, Cooper Rush has played well in 2 starts. The defense has been the biggest factor in their wins. Okay. And when Dak comes back, that's going to be the key, is that they've got to keep that complimentary football going. I think Jerry's feeling it a little bit. I think he's in a great mood. He probably thought after week 1 this season was in danger of going off the rails because they thought maybe Dak was going to be out for 2 months. Now it's a few weeks here. And he's dreaming of a situation like he would love 2016 again, because that meant they went 13-3 and got the top seed in the NFC.
Right.
And but yeah, Dak's the guy. The check says it. What Dak has done since he's been here says it. And I just don't think there's really anything to it at the end of the day.
You're not going to.
Honestly, the first thing that came to my mind was, Jerry wants to win football games. A lot of people in the offseason thought, they're trying to kind of, this is like a rebuilding year. They're just, they're not spending money. They're just not trying that hard. He obviously wants to win. If it means that Cooper Rush could create a conversation potentially, like, he's fine with that,
Yeah.
You're not. And I want Cooper Rush to go undefeated in Dak Prescott's stead. Fact. What's also true is you're not going to bench your, under 30-year-old, $40 million quarterback who's only a couple seasons removed from being a couple yards shy of the franchise's single-season passing record. It's just not going to happen. So I think that's more so to Jerry Jones's point. That's what he means when he says that's how I think. He wants the backups at every position to play so well that it creates a conversation for the starting position. So to Isaiah's point, it's fight or flight. It's, human psychology dictates that you're going to run faster if somebody's breathing on your neck.
I think he also was, I don't know if relieved is the right word, but he said Cooper Rush exceeded my expectations after the game. I think, there was some concern about, what they could do offensively without Dak after what we saw in week 1, and they played really well. I think they're just like we see. Isaiah's raising his hand as well. Like, there's a window now, these 2 division games coming up here, where now it's like you were worried about what the hell this record could be like going forward. Now, there's some optimism they can build on what they did in week 2. That's where a lot of this is coming from.
You expect now to be in these games. Initially, it looked like you weren't going to be in these games at all, and it was going to be a moot point, and Dak Prescott was going to come back. You were going to have a losing record. You just beat the reigning AFC champions. It changes your whole mindset. And I think Jerry Jones is on the list of the individuals around the team that may have had their expectations exceeded. But with Cooper Rush moving forward, where could he lead this offense? Because we've seen the high floor, but we've also seen the low ceiling. He's not going to push this offense to new levels like a Dak Prescott can go to. But at the same time, he's going to give you an opportunity to win. And that's the biggest thing for a backup quarterback.
Can I add some more controversy to this?
Of course. We love it.
Take history out of it. Between your two quarterbacks, who's played better this year?
Okay, this year it's Cooper Rush.
In one start?
In one start.
Play. Cooper Rush had a better overall performance.
Which quarterback won?
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush. Stop.
Just saying.
I'm just
throwing some extra on there.
Face the better
I'm just throwing some extra on there.
Context matters.
Context matters. Absolutely. And I'm not
matters.
saying, I'm just saying if you wanted to throw some extra layers on there to this onion, you could throw it. You could throw it on there.
It's rotten, though.
Yeah.
It's rotten. It's rotten. Absolutely rotten.
It's not good math.
It's not good math at all.
That math ain't righteous.
All I have is 2 games to look at.
He's got the spoon out.
I got 2 games to look at this year. That's it.
2 hands on the spoon.
I got 2 games to look at.
In the cauldron.
Yeah.
Just stirring it up.
Isaiah's on the other side of this table, and he's like, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
No,
throwing it out there.
No, we know who QB won.
That math ain't math.
Let's go.
No. Let's take our first break. Great segue. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the matchups you need to keep your eye on here in Week 3 as the Cowboys prepare to take on the Giants. More Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company right after this.
When you build, you start with the foundation. And home ownership is a foundation of a stable future. The Bank of America Community Home Ownership Commitment has helped over 34,000 people lay the groundwork so far, with up to $10,000 towards your down payment or 3% of the purchase price, whichever is less. The satisfaction of owning your own place can become a reality. Visit bankofamerica.com/homeowner to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. Equal Housing Lender. Credit and collateral is subject to approval. Restrictions apply. This is not a commitment to lend.
Lil Sweet! Did you get to work on time?
Yeah, but I just realized it's Sunday.
Lil Sweet says head on home. Dr. Pepper's on its way. So sweet, unique. Baby, there's nothing better. I bet you've probably done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper. Did you invest your nest egg in an NFT?
Yeah, and I don't even know what that is.
It's a non-fungible token. Everyone's done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Are you ready to take coffee off your grocery list forever? Black Rifle Coffee Club is here to help. As a coffee club member, you'll get your favorite coffees roasted, packaged, and shipped to your door free of charge on your preferred schedule. Set it, forget it, and never run low on coffee again. Members also get exclusive deals on coffee, products, and discounts from partner brands. Ease your mind and let Black Rifle worry about your coffee supply. Go to blackriflecoffee.com to join the coffee club today.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here with Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. Glad you're with us here on this Say It With Your Chest Friday. And we've got a read that we have to put up there onto the airwaves. And it starts with join former NFL players for our first game day minicamp, presented by Invisalign. Drop the kids off at Ford Center on October 2nd from 11:30 to 3:30 while you watch the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders game from your favorite restaurant in the Star District. To register your footballer for camp, visit dallascowboys.com/academy. Back here on Talkin Cowboys, Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, Patrick Walker. Okay, I want you to give me matchups to watch. What position group, what player, what coach, doesn't matter, is going to be who you're keeping an eye on coming up on Monday Night Football. Rob Phillips, we'll start with you.
Maybe I'll just stick with what I've said the first 2 weeks, and I'll say CeeDee Lamb against whoever CeeDee Lamb is being covered by, and in this case, I'm expecting Adoree Jackson. A lot of Adoree Jackson. He lined up against, I'm blanking on the receivers the first 2 weeks. Robbie Anderson, for Carolina, and he basically is shadowing whoever's the top guy. So can
Robert Woods in the first game?
Robert Woods, first game. So can CD continue to build off what he did in week 2? And if they want to double him, fine. Noah Brown's got to take advantage of it. The other thing I would say, I'll stick with just one.
Okay. Isaiah.
Dallas Cowboys linebackers versus the entire offense of the New York Giants, simply because you got to obviously keep an eye on Saquon and what his abilities are up front. And then a lot of Brian DeBall is running a lot of concepts that are hanging around linebacker level. So crossing routes, communication, all those things are going to play a huge part in how effective this defense is on getting them off the field after third down.
So do you think they can be successful with that? Because this is a Giants team that is going to run downhill. The strength of the Cowboys' second level in the linebackers is running downhill, so it's just a collision course. Is that a good matchup or a bad matchup for two teams that do pretty much the same thing very well?
It just depends on how disciplined Dallas is. I mean, because, if you're just going to go run against the wall, you're probably not going to win that battle. But you have one of the most single-handedly gifted running backs in the league. I don't think there would be any question regarding that. It's just whether or not he's healthy or not. So you have him as an asset as a New York Giant, but also you don't need a superstar receiver in this offense right now that the Giants are running. You just need guys to know where they're going. And that's what I'm worried about for the Dallas Cowboys this week, is whether or not their communication is as such. Micah hasn't played a whole lot of linebacker. Anthony Barr is just getting settled in. They don't have, you think about it, they really don't have a ton of chemistry coverage-wise between Barr, Van Der Esch, and Parsons. That will be tested this week within that mid-range game. That's why I say that's something to be concerned about.
For me, it's youth on youth. I want to draw a red circle around Tyler Smith at left tackle against Azeez Ojulari, my former dog. Ojulari.
Yeah.
Okay, Ojulari.
Your former dog, but still don't got his name right.
Don't you do that, because you, sir.
He didn't get his name right, apparently.
He's a huge Dogs fan, man. He loves.
I'm more than a fan, sir. I'm alum, so don't fan me. Alum. Tuition went there, my friend.
Okay.
I pay for this. That's different. That's different level.
I'm a big fan of North Texas' very own Jalen Dardine, too.
Every once in a while, I still
really good player.
Certain names like Hadrulahu, right? Certain names. When you throw that J in the middle, you're testing my resolve here. But nonetheless, Tyler versus Azeez. Azeez is likely to make his 2022 debut for the Giants. He's been battling a calf injury. He was limited in practice, but let him tell it, he's going to play. And he led the Giants in sacks last season with 6.5, something like that. And I can tell you from his days at Georgia and also looking at his NFL film, he can be a game wrecker if you don't account for him and if sometimes you don't send help. I'm curious to see if Tyler Smith, and I harken back to what I said yesterday. I saw Tyler Smith stand Vita Vea up. So I believe that strength is going to come into play here. I don't believe that you're going to have to send help over there for Tyler Smith against Azeez. That said, there will be times where I believe both of those players will get their licks in. I think Tyler is going to win a lot of those matchups. I think Azeez is going to win one or two of those matchups. But the matchups that Azeez wins, you have to hope that he doesn't get hands on Cooper Rush in those particular instances. So if he happens to get into the backfield, Cooper Rush, keep your head on a swivel, because that guy he'll make you pay on your blind side.
I think this is a great matchup. I really do, because Ojulari specifically, when he was coming out of the draft, it was the speed off the edge. I mean, he's a quick, athletic, moving. He's not going to outstrength the guy. That's what Tyler Smith does well, though. So it's speed versus strength.
Yep. I was just about to make a statement. I'm glad you said that. That's the type of player that's going to give Tyler Smith problems.
Yeah.
Simply because Tyler Smith's pad level is still high. Tyler Smith is very strong. You talk to any of these amazing offensive linemen that have come through the Dallas Cowboys and you ask him about his technique, the boy's strong, and his strength bails him out of a lot while his technique is trying to catch up. But his technique is still behind where they need it to be and where he wants it to be. The reason why he was able to stay in Vita Vea is because Vita Vea is not trying to run around you. Vita Vea is trying to run through you. Well, Tyler Smith welcomes that. right? So so he showed that force on force. Tyler Smith's going to struggle when he has to bend. So if this guy can bend around corners,
and he can, and this is why this is the biggest matchup for me because Aziz, his bend, his ability to burn the edge, his speed rush, it's up there. It's a talent. So when you look at the brutality and the brute force that Tyler Smith can play with, and I love how Kyle positioned it. It is exactly strength versus speed. It's power versus speed, which is going to win. As I said, there are going to be times where Tyler wins this matchup, and there are going to be times where that speed from Aziz is going to get the rookie.
And that's every game.
But you just hope that doesn't turn into a catastrophic play for the Cowboys.
That's every game. But the thing is, if you allow a defensive end to get 2 big plays, that's a game wrecker.
Yeah.
You need 2 plays out of 60. And that individual can wreck the game.
Well, see, and this is what I mean. I think he'll win a couple of those matchups against Tyler. I think that's a foregone conclusion. The question then becomes, what's the domino effect of it? So is it a play where Cooper Rush realizes, or he feels it on the backside and gets that ball out quicker, or rolls out to the right to buy himself a little bit more time, to get that ball out, whatever the case may be? You're going to see Aziz in the Cowboys' backfield on a couple of occasions. Prepare yourself for that. The question is, if you're the Cowboys, are you ready to, here's the 5%, Cooper Rush, channel that 5%. Don't go down, because he will not only sack you, but he will force the turnover.
He's going to get the football out
as well.
So this is my draft report on Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. Got to the outside quicker than most college offensive tackles could adjust, even in the SEC. A blistering quick first step that corners opponents and keeps everyone off balance. What does that sound like is the weak point of Tyler Smith's game? Footwork, off balance, getting to the outside, being on an island. I mean, college offensive tackles, he's still a rookie. He's only had 2 NFL games. He's had, of course, an entire offseason to work, but this is a matchup for Tyler Smith that is going to be a test. If he plays well, it's going to be a huge part moving forward. If he doesn't play well, it's going to be a talking point for other NFL defenses around the league.
I think you can add just the left side of the line, everything No-C said, and then add Matt Farniok if he is the starter at left guard again, because DJ Reader, I mentioned him, he was a tough matchup inside for them last week. Dexter Lawrence is 340 pounds, played well last week for them against Carolina, and Mike McCarthy even said it, like they're going to challenge the young side of that line with movement and different things that throw them off technique-wise, things like that. So I think that left side is one. If you're the Giants defense, you're like, maybe we go at these young guys and see what they can do.
Yeah, good point. And they've done that. The stunts on both levels, both teams, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, they've challenged the left side of that offensive line. They're going to do it again. Rob, I want to go back to your matchup, though. I'm really intrigued by CeeDee Lamb this week. Even if Michael Gallup is in the fold or if he's without being in the fold, if he's available or not available, what kind of game do you expect him to have? He seemed like he took a better step last week, but still not where you would want him to be. He hasn't been dominant yet. He still hasn't had a 100-yard receiving game since the Minnesota game in Week 8 last year. Can he get back to that in Week 3?
I think he absolutely needs to. I mean, I'm sure. What was his stats in this game? He didn't have
7 for 75, and I think that's about it.
7 catches on 11 targets.
Yeah.
From Cooper Rush in a backup quarterback situation, I will take that. I mean, I really would take that. And to me, it's a collective thing. It's like it has to involve other guys too. Noah's got to do what he did last week too, and be able to make it a pick your poison type deal for the defense. And I don't know if Gallup's going to play. I don't know. No-C, what do you think? How many snaps?
I think he plays, and I think that he gets targeted 3 times. Maybe you get, you hope you get 2 catches out of those 3. But if you get 1 catch and that catch is as a chain mover, it sends the message you needed to send. The rest is him decoy. 15 snaps, maybe 15 to 20. I think that's a good touchdown or touching down point to start reacclimating him to game speed.
Yeah. So IRS, like Mike said, don't expect 70 from Gallup, which is in line with what you said. But I do think his presence out there can help CD and help a little bit, open things up a little bit, maybe.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I think he's going to have to earn the respect that the former Michael Gallup. Their team, he's not just going to step on the field and guys will be like, oh, Michael Gallup's back. He's going to be like, let's see what he got.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who is he? Who is he? Now, if he goes out there and makes a couple plays, like like early on, Godwin made a couple plays. Like, okay,
he's back.
All right, he's back. All right,
respect.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the way we were supposed to play him. You know, but like he's gonna have to prove that. They're not gonna give him that respect as soon as he steps on the field.
Patrick doesn't think so. You think as soon as he steps on the field, they're going to game plan around get Michael Gallup?
You don't have a choice but to. This is a form.
Really?
Listen, this
coming off of this injury,
you have to assume if you're Brian Daboll, you have to assume that this guy is physically as close to 100% as possible. So the rest is the mental hurdles, the mental block of it, right? But you have to assume that.
What was that? I don't know what that was. All right, keep going.
Okay. You have to everything happens on this show. You have to assume that a former 1,000-yard receiver might just hit the ground running. And then especially if you look at a situation like Chris Godwin, although Godwin did leave that game with injury, he affected the game when he was there. The first couple of catches, we immediately said, "Oh man," right?
That's kind of to Isaiah's point, though. You didn't play that game planning around
but what
Chris
I'm saying,
Godwin.
right? And what I'm saying is he made at least two of his 3 catches were impact catches. So if you're Brian Daboll, you look at Godwin as the comp, and you say, well, Godwin came off of a torn ACL. Godwin was immediately able to hit the ground running. Godwin can damage a game. Okay, let's look at Michael Gallup. Well, Gallup has shown he can break a game open. I'm just not going to downplay this guy because the one impact play that he might make against us might be early because we're downplaying him, and it might be a touchdown or it might be a big gain or something like that.
Couldn't
and now
it open up a big play on the other side,
but
though?
with their style of defense, it doesn't matter. They're not giving anything over the top. They're going to play safe anyways. This is a bend but don't break defense. They're going to make Cooper Rush be patient, be diligent, work his way all the way down the field, have a 12 to 15 play drive, and prove that he can score touchdowns. They're not going to allow anybody to put the ball over their head. They're just not. So Michael Gallup coming back into the fold, his biggest threat to you is getting behind you. They're not going to allow that, most likely. That's going to be their game plan. So he's going to have to prove I can catch this little 12-yard route, make somebody miss, trust that my knee's good, and he's going to prove. They're not going to just say, oh, okay, let's go double team him.
No,
it's not going to happen.
And we're not saying that there's
no reason to double team CD right now.
Fact. But we're not saying they're going to say go double team him. But your answer to the question of if his return would positively impact CD, you said no. The answer is yes.
But how?
The fact that Michael Gallup is on the field creates attention, even if it's
zone. If you're playing zone, but I'm saying if you're playing zone,
okay,
they're not going to play man right off the bat. They have no reason to play man because you're susceptible to getting beat when you play man. Okay, so if you're going to come out and your base defense is zone, and you're not having to double up on any receiver because there's no receiver on this offense right now that's shown worthy of being doubled. Dalton Schultz, whether he is out there or not, that's somebody that you may or may not have to worry about because he's trying to figure out how to get healthy. You're playing a simple base defense and saying, hey, you back there, quarterback, beat us and be persistent. There's no huge threats right now. The offense of the Dallas Cowboys has not shown that they can threaten anybody this year.
Okay, so let me give you a scenario in which defense is playing zone, okay? Kellen Moore, I put this on your lap, on your shoulders. Scheme against this with the possible likely return of Michael Gallup. Let's say this is a situation where Kellen Moore says, okay, they're playing zone, I see zone. We put Gallup on the outside. We put CD in the slot. This is how it positively impacts CD because even if you're in the zone, what happens is when the play gets snapped, your guys, they're reading their areas, they're reading their zones, but I can guarantee you they're less likely to cheat and close down in on CD in the slot on that possible slant when Michael Gallup is on the outside. You can't then shade your eyes inside because you're like, oh, well, this is, possible rookie third-round pick Jalen Tolbert. We don't know what he can do, but we know what CD can do. Instead, it's Gallup is out here, Lamb is out here. I have to stick to my area, to my assignment. Now that gives that split second more for Lamb to get that break on his in route. So my point,
on paper,
it's not been played yet. Of course, it's on paper.
I know, but I'm saying,
it's,
as a player, as a former player, you have to respect me when you show me that you're respectable. Coming off an ACL, you got to show me you can play again.
All I'm saying is the fact that Gallup, if he's on the field Monday night, it will positively impact the routes, the spacing, the possible separation that you will see CeeDee Lamb get. If they do, in fact, stick to his zone, if you're Kellen Moore, all you have to do is challenge that zone and challenge their attention by putting both on the same side of the field every once in a while.
I think it's a great debate because every team is going to think of it differently. They're going to have this internal debate in their own right. Should we respect Michael Gallup? Should we not respect Michael Gallup until he shows us that he's actually back to being 100% Michael Gallup? These are the types of conversations that coaching staffs have week in and week out.
Good talk.
Because it's never supposed to be cut and dry on paper, off of paper. Doesn't matter. It's never like that in the NFL. But yeah, good points on both sides of things. We need to take our second break because when we come back, we're going to tell you how to win some money on DraftKings, and we're going to try and redeem ourselves in pick'ems after the worst pick'em week. Worst pick'em week in the history of Talking Cowboys. I need you guys to focus up. We were bad last week. We'll be right back.
I'm a winner.
Sprinkles up for winning.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Black Rifle Coffee Company serves premium coffee to people who love America. When you drink Black Rifle coffee, you are directly supporting veterans, law enforcement, and first responders in your community. Black Rifle's expert roasters love coffee almost as much as Texas loves football, so it makes sense that America's Coffee partnered with America's team. Go online at blackriflecoffee.com and fuel up with the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. That's blackriflecoffee.com to fuel up today.
Lil Sweet! Did you get to work on time?
Yeah, but I just realized it's Sunday.
Lil Sweet says head on home. Dr. Pepper's on its way. So sweet, unique. Baby, there's nothing better. I bet you've probably done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper. Did you invest your nest egg in an NFT?
Yeah, and I don't even know what that is.
It's a non-fungible token. Everyone's done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more, do more. Essilor on Talkin' Cowboys. Isaiah Standback, as always, smiling for the camera. Good debate in that last segment on whether or not teams should respect Michael Gallup in his first game back. Speaking of respecting, what?
You know what we did not mention?
What did we not mention?
In Rob's report?
What?
Rob E.
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
What did we miss?
Golly, what did I miss?
Golly.
Tell me.
Dennis
Houston is back.
Yeah.
On the practice squad.
And Mika Tafua.
And Mika Tafua. Yep.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Tafua train lives.
They had 2 open spots because they had signed Maher and Cooper Rush last week from the practice squad.
My on the game I did play-by-play on, the best highlight of the whole second half was a Mika Tafua sack.
Yeah.
That was the only highlight that happened in the entire second half, and I blew it out of the water. They're up by 10 in a preseason game. I'm like, Tafua, because I was I need this for the demo reel. I need this to cut later.
The kid's got some skills.
He does.
He needs some refinement, but he's got some talent.
Exactly. And that's what the practice squad with 16 people does now. So I do like that.
And it'll be very interesting to see when the true QB1 is back in the mix, how Dennis Houston plays into that, because Houston is most definitely a Dak guy. So.
All right. Speaking of guys, we need to pick some guys under the radar for DraftKings. You can play online for $1 million every single week, and daily fantasy is getting more and more popular, of course, but we've got some under the radar guys. I don't think we're going to have a graphic because since it's a Monday night game, they don't have the accurate pricing up yet. We'll have it again next week. But, Rob, who's a guy that you want to say is a value pick on the backside of things?
Maybe Tony Pollard.
Okay.
You know, he had 4 catches for 55 yards last week. I'm thinking more pass game necessarily than the run game. But now, the 46-yard gain was a big part of that. But I was just looking at what they did, and we were talking about Gallup. They need a third guy to step up in the passing game. I mean, obviously CD, I mentioned him, Noah Brown. But they were the only 2 wide receivers that had catches last week. Dennis Houston got 1 target, did not have a reception. So maybe it's Tony Pollard stepping up. You mentioned it, no seed, like Dalton Schultz may not, or Isaiah
Dalty
may not be in this game. So somebody's gonna have to step up and be more versatile. Could be Tony.
These are sleepers, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with Hendershot.
Oh, okay. I like it.
I don't see Dalton playing. And even if he does play, I think they bring him in there as a just-in-case type of deal. I think Hendershot is the most explosive person at that position, the biggest playmaker, and I think they give him opportunity, give him a shot.
That's nice. I like it.
I'm going to stick to the tight end room, but I'm going to go away from Hendershot only because I don't know yet, or we don't know yet, what their thoughts are on Sean McEwen. We heard McCarthy mention him. McEwen might be up, and if so, that's going to impact Peyton Hendershot. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Jake Ferguson. In the event Dalton Schultz is not able to go on Monday night, I think the large bulk of that work will go, even if McEwen is elevated, is going to go to Jake Ferguson. I think Jake Ferguson is somebody to keep an eye on also because the Cowboys, and Kellen Moore specifically, has shown he can scheme up an impact game for a tight end against the Giants at MetLife. So if Schultz isn't going, give me Jake Ferguson.
All right. I like it. And by the way, if you want to be a part of our Pick'em segment coming up in approximately 30 seconds, give us a call, 888-855-2297. I forgot to mention that earlier. So 888-855-2297. We may have to catch you up a little bit, but I'm going to catch you up on how things went last week, gentlemen.
All this catch-up, man.
The worst,
It makes me uncomfortable.
The worst week pick'em-wise in the history of this show.
Who's the winner?
You cooking the books again?
No, I wish. I wish I was cooking the books. We all went 1-5, except for Isaiah, who went 2-4.
That's right.
He got one game.
It's a blowout. It's a blowout.
So what happened was, this is the explanation of the whole deal. We all picked Pittsburgh. We all picked, what was the other game I said that we all picked? Oh, the Raiders. They both lost. Then everybody picked the Ravens except for Isaiah and I. That was one game we got right. And then everybody picked the Panthers except for Rob, who got that right. Ooh. Everybody picked the Bengals except for Patrick, who got that right. And then Isaiah was able to distance himself a little bit because he picked the Eagles when everybody else picked the Vikings. So that's how he got the 2 wins, and that's how we all got the 1 win. Even the fans last week, not represented great by Anthony in Miami, our guy. He went 0-5 in the non-Cowboys games, but he picked the Cowboys, so that's
what are the standings, Kyle?
To win. So Isaiah is leading by a comfortable 1 game.
Twinkle in his eyes.
That's right.
Isaiah is 5-7 overall.
That's right.
The fans, Rob and I, are 4-8 overall, and then Patrick is in last at 3-9.
Well, here's the thing about last week. I obviously sold my soul to make sure the Cowboys got their win, and that's how my pick'ems went.
Okay,
right? but honestly, real talk. The Ravens, the Panthers, those are teams that were leading and just gave up the GOAT at the end. So, unfortunately, things didn't go that well for me. But
what did they say
the one
about,
I got was the one that mattered most.
What do they say about almosts, Isaiah?
What do you count for cigars and hand grenades?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Shoes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You play to win the game.
Thank you, Beamer. Welcome to Talkin Cowboys, Patrick Walker. It's time for our Pick'em segment, and we've got our friend Matt in North Carolina on the line. Matt, how's it going, my friend?
Good, gentlemen. What's going on?
Nothing much. So let's see if we can rebound this week. And it starts things off with an NFC East battle at noon on Sunday. The Eagles and the Commanders. Matt, who you got?
I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles are looking really good. Hurts is going to lead them, unfortunately. But I got the Eagles winning this one.
There you go. On the road. Rob?
I'm a Jalen Hurts believer. Give me Philly on the road.
I'm going to take Philly as well in a close one. I think Washington makes this a game, Isaiah.
Eagles are very powerful birds.
What about Commanders?
They're majestic, too.
Pretty powerful, too. Okay, Patrick?
I should go all the way out on the limb and pick a tie here because I don't want either to win. But Philly is surging at the moment, and the Commanders are still the Commanders until further notice. So Philly wins this one.
All right, we've got a battle of unbeatens on CBS at noon. This is the game I will be watching, no doubt. The Bills on the road against the Dolphins. Both teams 2-0. Both teams with some massive firepower. Patrick, who you got?
I picked against the Dolphins, and I don't believe that Waddle and Hill are going to rack up yards like they did against, last week against this Bills defense. That said, that speed kills, man. Give me the Dolphins.
Ooh, Dolphins pick
Speed
at
kills.
home. I'm actually going to join Patrick. I'm going to say Miami. Beating the Bills. The Bills are the Super Bowl pick. If I had to make a pick for the Super Bowl, it's the Bills.
But they dropped this
one. But
one.
I think they lose this game. Isaiah.
Go with Buffalo. They got Leslie Frazier as their defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Just kidding me?
Matt, who you got?
I got Buffalo all day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to pick up again. I picked against the Bills in week 1 like a stupid head.
Why?
And I'm not doing that again.
Stupid
Well,
head.
the Dolphins made me pay last week.
Yeah, well, they did. They did.
I'm going with them this time.
I'm not picking against Buffalo until they lose a game.
Boom.
Patriots at home against the Ravens. Both teams 1-1. Isaiah.
Picking another bird.
Ravens. Okay, Patrick.
Ravens let me down last week, but it was because of their defense, which now has JPP in the mix, as Isaiah mentioned. I think Lamar gets back in his bag as he did last week. I'm going Ravens again.
Matt.
I'm going Ravens, too.
I'm going to do...
Yeah, do it. Just do it, Kyle.
Do it,
Patriots.
Kyle.
Another game on you.
Patriots at home. Who you got?
I'm picking up another one, Ravens.
Up another one. Two teams that should not be 0-2, but they are 0-2, and that's the Raiders on the road against the Titans. Rob, who you got?
Raiders and Titans?
Yep.
I think the Titans get that one at home.
Okay. Isaiah?
The Raiders have to figure it out, so I'm going the Raiders.
Matt?
I'm going with Raiders.
Patrick?
Devontae Adams versus this Titans defense. I'm going Raiders.
Give me the Raiders, too, on the road. Oh, there's a couple other really good games. Packers and the Buccaneers.
Who?
Tom Brady hosting Aaron Rodgers in Tampa. Give me the Packers to win on the road. Isaiah.
No, I'm going with the Tampa.
The what?
The Tampa.
What?
You're going with
Did
the
you
what?
really?
I'm sorry, you're going with the what now?
So it's the Tampa.
Yeah, the Tampa.
This show is...
What do you think I said, huh?
Oh,
Patrick,
my God.
go, Patrick.
Oh, my God.
Make your pick.
This show is just hemorrhaging.
We're all going to get
Do I need to
slips.
say Bay? I'm going with, I think this is a situation where Tom Brady looks at one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, and he says, I'm not going to be outdone. So give me Tom Brady and Tampa.
Okay.
Tampa Bay.
Good job. Thank you. Pronunciation, Rob. Matt, who you got?
I bet against Tampa Bay week 1. I won't do it again. I take TB12.
Smart man.
All right, there you go. All right, that's 5 games in the bucket. Let's go to the Cowboys on the road for the first time in 2022 against the New York Giants. Rob, we'll start with Matt. Matt, who you got in this one?
Cowboys against New York Giants, you said, right?
Oh, yeah.
How about them Cowboys, baby?
Yeah.
Taking Dallas all day.
Getting after it. You're on the East Coast, but you're still picking the Cowboys. Matt, thanks for calling in. Good luck this week. Thanks for supporting us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend.
There he goes. Matt in North Carolina trying to pick it up for the fans. Rob.
Thanks, Matt. I'm not going all day. I think it's going to be a close game. And I said first team to 20 is what I've been saying all week. So I'm going to go 20-19 Cowboys. I think both defenses are surging right now, and it's going to be tough for both offenses. But I'll take the Cowboys in a close one.
Okay. I'm going to go to Patrick first.
I think it's going to be a close one, but I think the Cowboys get it done. I'm going to go 21-13. Cowboys take this one.
Okay. Isaiah.
20-17. Giants.
Ooh. Now, just for a little context, Isaiah did win a Super Bowl ring with the New York Giants. So let's just at least throw that in there. He did win a ring.
Is that biased?
I get a sense of underestimation.
Okay.
For these
pungent.
guys. Because they don't have the big personnel names.
Okay.
I think people are really overlooking this team because of their previous history, and they look at their personnel, and they're like, we should be able to stomp these guys. Yeah, not so fast,
But it could be argued you're doing the same against a Cowboys team who has a wide receiver unit that's mostly unheard of. I hear you.
And we were talking earlier in the week. This defense for the Cowboys is good enough to where they should win you football games. And in a matchup like this, I even went out and said they should be able to beat them by 20. Doesn't mean they will beat them by 20. I said they should have that caliber. But they're still going to beat them by 20. Give me the Cowboys this week, 26-6. They're not going to score a lot of points, but they're not going to give up a whole lot. And the defense scores a touchdown this week. It's bound to happen.
6.
Daniel
26-6.
Jones turns the ball over
4 turnovers,
twice.
a touchdown on the defensive side of the football. The offense scores a little bit late. Give me the Cowboys by 20, 26-6. That does it for us here on Talking Cowboys this week. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Get ready for Monday Night Football because we'll be back on Tuesday to break it all down for you. For Chris Beam, Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, and Patrick Walker, I'm Kyle Yeomans. We'll see you on Tuesday, Monday Night Football. Cowboys, Giants on Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?